just the 7 emanations from God or from life and from spirit. They come down into life like 7 masters. And I just want to bring it, we're going to start from the Rosicrucian Cross. We'll go to the first one.
Not going.
Yeah, okay. So it's a symbol. It's a symbol of the ancients of mystical study, of finding your heart out of the cross of life, finding your way on the path to love, to God, whatever. But in it, there's many, many different kinds of codes. There's a whole language on this cross of meaning that are messages as to the path and the way of getting to love. Love God. To me, love God, same word. That's something you can experience or give, but you can't order up. But, so in my way of looking, you're either in love or you're rectifying the situation. So most of us are here rectifying the situation to find more love, or to be more love. But the love is the rose and the cross, the heart and the cross. The symbols all around it, everyone just looks, there's all these symbols around it, they're there, what do they mean? There's a lot of teachings that go into each symbol, each thing, each factor in here has relevance and meaning. So, could you sit over here, would you mind? Because I'm going to be walking in front of you all the time and it's okay. So, let's go to the next slide. So we'll go a little bit closer to it. But this is, from an astrological viewpoint, there's an astrological message totally here. There's a language in astrology that's explaining the cross. There's many other ways, going from magic, going from mythology, going from various religions, many ways to go into this cross or to find meaning in it. But for me, there's a very simple, it's just saying, it's a very blatant astrological symbol of how to grow out of our worldly being into a more spiritual presence, into a more loving presence. We'll be here for a while. We'll be on this slide for a while. So when we look at this, first of all, you have the cross of life. Okay? Christ was crucified, we're crossed to life. We're drawn and quartered into life. We're pulled out into the 4 directions into life with our material consciousness. We're attached to life. We're attached to our desires. We got to eat. We got to relate. We want to have sex. We want to feel. We want to be healthy. We have all these conditions that we're attached to that drive us in life. That's the basic clause. Everybody's got that in different ways at different times. Part of the struggle is to start your spiritual path. You have to pick up your cross and set it up right and crucify your sensations. So instead of you crucify your attachments to your one more cup of coffee. I can fast, but I have one more ice cream, or one more thing. We have all these conditions. I'll be celibate next week. There's so many ways we're attached into life. In real, people live and die over fighting over these issues. They're not simple attachments. It's that fabric of nature. You pick up the cross of going in to turn your senses inwardly. You really have to pick up the cross and work to detach. It hurts. Ouch. No, and so the cross is your horoscope. It's your houses. There's your ascendant, descendant, parallel, and the MCIC on the top. We have our outer status above us. We have our personal world inside. Oh, when I did this, did I accomplish this? But then I went home to read it. Okay, and both are types of attachment. Subjective inwardly, objective outwardly. But it's part of the wheel of nature that we're born in. So we come in, we get up at night, we come out of our mothers, we come out of our backyard of our homes, we come out of our backyards, we come out of our last night's sleep, and we project ourselves into the world today. Just to see what we can do. Just for the hell of it. Or the ego of it, or the foundation of it, or the heaven of it, or whatever. We put it out, we see how much we do, and then we start reacting. Did I really do that? Did I really do it? How come it didn't happen? What happened? And we take it back in the rest of the day. what you put out when you go out, what comes back. And you sleep on it, and it affects your subconscious, affects your inner voice. And then you wake up the next morning, and either you carry it over, or you've completed it, and how much of your inner voice can carry with you? Which is more real, your waking dream or the sleeping dream? Who is it that's dreaming? So, like, when you're talking of spirit, you're going, and spirit or soul, you're going beyond nature. You're going to things not measurable by our senses or by concepts of time. To do that really takes a destroying of our lower, grosser egos. We all got it. You know, like, but that's the symbol of the cross. So the crucifixion, destroying our worldly attachments so that we can turn our sensations inward to get back to our heart. Or get back to some sense of love, or sense of being that's not attached to worldly sensations. So the worldly sensations, that's the unrighteous cross. When you actually pick up your cross, I'll do this for myself, I'll not just fall, I'm going to do this, I'm going to change this diet, I'll lift this up, okay, I'm going to take a stand here. You know, it's like, kind of like saying, okay, God, make my day, I'll pick this up. Did I say that? What's happened? It's going to come. So everybody comes get their chart. What do you want to chart? You want to know about money, want to know about sex, want to know about relationships, how to deal with the kid from hell, how to deal with this, what kind of career I'm going to get, when am I going to get, where's the money going to come, how am I going to pay for a place, all these things. 90% of people don't get the horoscope for that. You know? But that's the low level, that's the gross level. Lots of people could build up a business, an astrologer, and you're just dealing with that, and they're quite content to live on that worldly level. It's just, usually you open in your path when your heart breaks. Not when you fall in love, it's when you don't own it. You don't own someone else. You can't control it. It falls out, your heart breaks. And you know, how could you, what is it for? What's it all about? Where is it? You start asking deeper questions. How can someone touch me like this? How can this be real? How can this happen? That's the opening. But it seems like the death. And if there's an inner spirit, it's usually something that guides you beyond it. Your sense of love or sense of something. But if you don't have it, it's easier to take some drugs or take something and wipe yourself out. Who needs this? I'll get it. Of course, then you just come around again another lifetime and you're back on the same tree again. As the soul goes around the zodiac, around through its many incarnations, you probably have to go through a life for each degree until you've experienced the whole zodiac. For lots of time, as long as you're attached to it. It's not about attachment. It's like, how do you let go of attachment? How do you love someone and not own them? And not think they're mine? Or you gotta be there for me. What do you mean you went somewhere and you didn't tell me? Where were you? Who were you talking to? Just say to that person for, like, oh, that's such a, it's like a profanity. But we all have it. We all feel it. We have to grow beyond that. We don't grow beyond that till you got hurt enough. When you get hurt that much, there's a place where first we get depression. It's a mask of rage and anger. I'm mad, I'm depressed because I can't do it. Then we get the anger, which is really, I'm mad as anybody. Really, it's a mask for sorrow. I'm really sad, I've been hurt, and I'm mad as anybody. I can't feel it. I don't want to feel the sorrow, so I'll blame someone, I'll judge someone, I'll get mad. And the anger is the mask of sorrow, and then the sorrow is the gateway to compassion. You get hurt so much that you wouldn't wish any other living being would ever feel that sad, or be that hurt, or be that alone. That's compassion. There's a process in here. So the worst things that happen to us are often the best. Your worst enemies are usually your best teachers. You know, because they're bringing out things to you that's showing you your attachments. So this is the cross, the basic crucifix of life. First part, that's your horoscope. How do you get out of it? If you're in love, you don't need a horoscope. If you're in love, you don't need anything. If you're in love, you're there. You're beyond time. So there's the heart in the center, the rose in the center, and the cross. Ouch, as we're pulled out into life thinking I'll find love in all the wrong places. I found it in the wrong place today. Wow, what a great Friday night. But so we get pulled out in all these wrong places. And we get hurt. What's love? Do you blame someone else for your hurt? For your pain? For your loss? As opposed to thinking you just threw it away yourself by being wrongly aligned? Whew. So, okay. That's the beginning of the path. You pick up your cross. How much pain can you take? You know? So that's the first level, the houses in your chart. Most people are running around on the houses of their chart. But then you have the 7 planets, and the 7 rays, the 7 points, 7 colors, 7 sounds, 7 planets. You have these higher frequencies. These heavenly bodies or heavenly beings, whether the ancients used to call them gods, the Arabs would call them jinns or angels. You know, there's these higher beings that are living closer to heaven than we are. They set a pattern. And as we start to look at these patterns, they begin to set guidelines to how to live and how to get detached from things. But most of us, we do try, once Mars comes around, when I'm going to get lucky, when I'm going to be this, when I'm going to score, we try to use the planets to get things, rather than listen to the planets. Rather than listen to these higher frequencies that are guidelines to heavenly being, to living closer to our heaven, to our higher natures. So the 7 rays, the 7 planets, each one 7 dimensions of consciousness, from our moon memories. Everything before this moment of memory. Memories are chains we drag around. If you know me, wham, you got to know my memories. I had to go through this divorce, I went through that. I got to hit you with all my memories. Please deny your memories. If you're going in the future, if you have sorrow, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fix this, I'm going somewhere, that's your son. I'm going into the future, I'm going to be somebody. That's a cover-up for memories. We're not dealing with memories. And we get poked, really, we live here in this moment. No past, no future. And we get pulled by our desires and attachment into the past or in the future. Just common sense, we see it. These are frequencies we can see. The other planets, the 2 main planets, the sun and moon, the past and the future. How do you get beyond time? You don't have to do anything beyond time. You are. You can't be separate from God. It's not possible. But you can think you are. You can feel that you are. You can believe that you are. You can understand that you are. You can rationalize you are. It's all nonsense. The only truth in life really is there's God or love. Period. But here we are, stuck in the middle of things. Trying to work through. Trying to find ways of serving, ways of getting out, ways of improving, ways of fixing things relative to our own attachments. So, the houses are the first level. That's the first cross, the worldly circumstances. Then the planets are kind of guidelines that are moving around up there that nurtures your mind, the way you think, make sense out of things. Rationalize the past and the future, and what, if that happened, I can go here, I can go to that logic. We all have it. Half of the spiritual works in the world is shut the mind up, stop the logic, just be quiet for a moment. Can you listen when you're talking? Can you listen when you're thinking? It's louder than talking. So then the next level is Venus. Emotions or desires, what you like. How do you change what you like? I'm ready for just one more night with my girlfriend. You know, I'm ready for, let me take my dog. Or I gotta have a cup, I gotta have another chocolate meringue pie or lemon meringue pie before, like one more thing before I go. You're not in the moment. You have your agenda that you're pouring into the moment. And as you're pouring that agenda in the moment, you're just shoveling it into the past. And you're caught about what a rat race this is. It's your own making. Anybody that ever did anything to you, they can't do anything to you. They do something to the matrix that you think you are as you run into their matrix. Dream to dream. Fantasy to fantasy. Nightmare to nightmare. Comic book to comic book. Our concept of light, dark, good, bad. The closer you get to love, the more irrelevant that all is.